Welcome back to Scotty's Movies, and it's time to find out what I watched in September. Let's get started. Okay, so yeah, what did I watch in September? Well, this month we've got 18 movies, which is probably the most I've watched since I started this type of video. This consists of 9 rewatches and 9 first-time watches, including I think it's 1 cinema trip as well. So I'll start with the first thing I watched. It was a rewatch. This is a film I've seen many times over the years, and it was See No Evil, Hear No Evil on I actually watched it on Netflix. I do own a DVD of this. Probably look for an upgrade on Blu-ray. I'm not sure if there's one or not. It's not something I've really looked into, but it is a brilliant film with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Basically play a couple of guys, Wally and Dave, who one's blind, one's deaf, and they sort of get involved in a murder, and the police are after him. And he's just, if you've not seen See No Evil, Hear No Evil, definitely recommend checking out. It's just an hilarious movie. I mean, I think they made, was it 4 films together? Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, this one, and I think there was another one called Another You, which I've not actually seen. But of the ones I've seen, this is my favourite Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor movie. I just love it. I'd give that 9 out of 10. I've seen it so many times over the years. Next film I watched was another rewatch, and I don't know why I watched this. It was just, I actually watched it on Disney Plus, although I do own the Blu-ray, and I rewatched Avengers Infinity War. I don't know why I rewatched it. I'm not a big rewatcher of the Marvel movies. There's not many I have rewatched over the years, despite owning all the Blu-rays and having Disney Plus. But yeah, maybe I was just in the mood, and I just stuck Infinity War on, and I've forgotten how good that movie is. It really is a cracking Marvel movie. It's probably my favourite Marvel movie. I do prefer it probably slightly over Endgame. I don't know what it is about it, but it was probably it was the first one where all of them kind of all come together trying to fight Thanos, and it's a fantastic movie. Most people out there, any kind of Marvel fan, would have already seen Infinity War, but yeah, so I'll give that 9 out of 10 as well. And next film I saw is the first of the first time watches, and it was another one on Disney Plus, and it was the remake live action of Pinocchio. Now the original Pinocchio cartoon still terrifies me to this day. I watched it probably when I was, I don't know, I must have been about maybe 4 or 5 or so, if not younger, I don't know. I vaguely sort of got these vague memories of it, watching it in the cinema. And it just it terrified us, and I still think now. I think it's pretty scary with the bit when he goes to the fair, and they all start getting turned into donkeys. It just terrified me. Well, anyway, so I watched the live action remake. Now, I watch these live action remakes like most people, but are they necessary? No. My favourite one is probably, I don't know, maybe Aladdin, just because I love the Aladdin animated, but I'd never choose it over the Aladdin animated if I wanted to watch Aladdin. But I don't know, I just don't think that they're really necessary, but this is what we got going forward from Disney. So I just had to sort of put up with it. And with Pinocchio, it was okay. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared like I probably was with the original. I think Pinocchio himself looked pretty good. Tom Hanks was all right. And yeah, it was all right. It's just not another one that's not necessary really. But I'll give that a 6 out of 10. I say it's worth a watch, but I probably won't watch it again in a hurry. Um, Next film I watched is another rewatch. Now last month I watched the first film of this series for the umpteenth time, and this month I watched the second film, and it is National Treasure, Book of Secrets. Yeah, I love the National Treasure movies. I probably said last month. I don't know what it's about. They're just such easy watches. I've seen them countless times. Better Nicolas Cage, can't go wrong. And I'm looking forward to the TV series that's coming out. Is it December? I'm hoping for a Nick Cage cameo. I don't know if we'll get one. I know we've got Justin Bartha, is it, who plays Riley in it. I don't know how much he's going to be in it, but yeah, I'm quite interested. If it goes along the same sort of plot lines, treasure hunting and everything, as it should do, I think it should be quite a lot of fun. Obviously, Nicolas Cage aside, and I'm sort of hoping maybe it might maybe lead into another National Treasure movie with Nicolas Cage. You never know, you look. But yeah, I give National Treasure 2 8 out of 10. I just love that film, just as much as the original, really. Yeah. Next film I saw was a new film called Fall, which is basically about two girls who scale this massive tower. They're into like sort of rock climbing and that kind of thing, and they just have this challenge to climb this massive tower in the middle of sort of nowhere, and it's kind of suspense-filled fun, really. It's probably not the best film to watch if you're scared of heights. Now I've got a bit of a fear of heights, but I sort of probably handled it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and I've said before I'm quite a fan of these films where they sort of set in one place. Obviously, this was set up a big tower. These two girls, and yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I give that one 7.5 out of 10. And I do think it's got excuse me, excuse me, rewatchability as well. But there is a kind of a twist in it as well. The next film I saw is a film I had seen before, but it's been a long time, and I picked up a Blu-ray this film, and it's a film called ATM. Now I remember when I watched this. It's another one sort of set in one area, it's one place really, and it's basically about these three people, two guys and a girl, who sort of 1 o'clock in the morning have to go to like his ATM sort of unit kind of thing, like like one way you have to go inside, and it's like in the middle of what looks like a car park, and they just go in to get money, and when they go out, there's like this like guy sort of with a tie iron or something, I think it is, just sort of stalking them outside, and it's just it's really stupid. It's a really stupid film. I got this because I kind of did enjoy it the first time, but when I watched it again, I'm thinking these people are just incredibly stupid. Firstly, like they park about a mile away from the ATM, when you could literally park right next to it, go in the ATM, get back in your car, and off you go. Well, they park about a mile away, so this guy's sort of stopping them, getting to the car. Yeah, there's three of them. If all three of them sort of just legged it out of this thing, one of them's going to get to the car. There's one guy, and he seems to be a bit of a Jason or Michael Myers, where he doesn't seem to run. He just sort of walks fast and stalks him. So he probably could have got away, but it was a pretty stupid film and pretty. It's just daft, but I would recommend seeing it one time, just how funny it is. I'll give that a 5 out of 10. As I say, I've seen it before. I got it from CX. I'll probably trade it back to CX because I kind of got it for the rewatch, and I don't know if it's something I want to keep hold of. I don't know if it's something I want to watch again. So, yeah, the next thing I watched was on Netflix, and this was another random one, a bit like when I watched Avengers I actually watched a sequel to Halloween. I actually watched Halloween H2O. Now, when it comes to Halloween movies, I've seen the original 1978 one, and I've seen Halloween H2O now, and I've seen the 2018 and Halloween Kills. That's all I've seen. I have in the last month actually picked up a box set, I think, of all the others. In fact, Rob Zombie movies aside, so I do plan to watch some of them this month in October for Halloween month. But yeah, I watched Halloween H2O, and yeah, this one is kind of like the direct sequel to the original, a bit like Halloween 2018 was with Jamie Lee Curtis, and I don't know, nothing happens for me for the first hour. It's just full of supposed jump scares that are literally just like a loud noise that's supposed to make you jump. It didn't make me jump, and someone's walking up behind someone, they turn around and go, oh, like, it's like big noise, and that was what it was relying on. You didn't really see a hell of a lot of Michael Myers, and then probably last half hour it kicks in a bit. Well, last 20 minutes. It's not even that long a film. That's probably why I watched it. And yeah, last 20 minutes were all right, but yeah, it was. I wasn't overly impressed with it, to be fair. And yeah, I gave that 5 out of 10 as well. It was just sort of all right at best. So yeah, next film I watched is another rewatch, but this was a film I'd probably seen once back in the day, and it was Turbulence with Ray Liotta and Lauren Holly. Yeah, I was kindly sent this by Jamie Powell. Thanks, Jamie, again. I think he recently picked up a Blu-ray of this, and he said he had the DVD, so he sent it over to me. And yeah, I did really enjoy it. I watched it, and I couldn't remember a thing about it. I'd pretty much forgotten everything, so I did really enjoy it. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's kind of like basically Ray that was like a prisoner that is being transported on the plane with a couple of other guys, and it's kind of like a bit of a breakout and hijack situation. And yeah, you got Lauren Holly there basically trying to fly a plane as an air stewardess, and quite how she managed to pull it off, I don't know, but yeah, it's good. It's good fun 90s action flick. Next thing I watched is something I hadn't seen before. Now I'm a big fan of Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. Although when Cobra Kai first started, I had to go back and watch the sequels because I'd only ever seen the original Karate Kid from the 80s. I've seen that tons of times. Absolutely love it. But when Cobra Kai came out, I went back and watched Karate Kid 2 and then the Karate Kid 3 for the sort of information to help me with the later Cobra Kai seasons. And then randomly this month, I watched the final one I hadn't seen, which was the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank and obviously Mr. Miyagi. And I've obviously heard this is awful, but I actually quite enjoyed it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. I don't know. It was worth a watch. It's obviously not a patch on probably any of the others. It is easily the worst sequel, but for what it was, I enjoyed it, and it was a nice, easy watch. And I think it was just good to see Mr. Miyagi again. Obviously, having not seen all the movies, so not seeing him in everything. So having watched Cobra Kai, I kind of hankering for a bit of Mr. Miyagi, and yeah, it was good to see him, even if it was just with Hilary Swank and not obviously Daniel again. But yeah, so that was next Karate Kid. Next film I saw was at the cinema, and it was Kevin Smith's Clerks 3. Yeah, big fan of the Kevin Smith movies. My favourite is probably Mallrats, I think. But I do like Clerks as well. I do need to try and get hold of Clerks 2 and give that a rewatch. It's been a while since I've seen that. But yeah, I watched Clerks 3. And it was, yeah, I thought it was good. It was good fun. It's kind of got drawn a line under the series, I think, now. And the characters, it has quite a sad ending. But yeah, it's just if you're a fan of Kevin Smith and you like the other movies, you'll probably like this. Yeah, that was Clerks 3. I give that 7 out of 10. Next film I watched was another one from the 90s. This one starring Billy Zane, and it's kind of like a superhero movie. And I watched The Phantom for the first time. Yeah, I remember The Phantom from was it the Defenders of the Earth cartoons from the 80s or early 90s. I remember him as a character, but I'd never actually seen this movie. And yeah, it was a bit of fun. It's just sort of cheesy 90s action superhero from what you kind of expect, really. Um, and yeah, I give that 6 out of 10. It had a wait an hour and a half. Next film I saw was quite recent release of Elvis. Yeah, Elvis. I did enjoy it. It wasn't my favourite sort of biopic of musicians. I do still prefer Bohemian Rhapsody. The one thing with this though, I couldn't fault the acting in it. Like the guy, was it Austin Butler who plays Elvis? Yeah, it's fantastic performance by him. And also Tom Hanks was good as well. And the music was great. It did have a strange bit in the middle where it seemed to have some sort of modern rap music in there, which is a bit odd. But it's a good film. But is it my favourite? No. There's something about it I couldn't quite connect with. Maybe it's because I don't know. I was more into Queen or something like that than I was Elvis, I suppose. But yeah, I did quite enjoy it. I give that 7 out of 10. Next film I saw is a film starring Idris Elba, and it was Beast. Yeah, this reminded me of a film I saw a couple of months back on Netflix called Endangered Species, where a family's kind of in the middle of the African sort of plains and get like stranded, and they got animals coming after them. Whereas this was like a million times better than that. In that film, you didn't give a shit if all the people died. You was actually rooting for the animals. Where in this one, you got Idris Elba versus mainly one big lion, and you did actually sort of care for the characters, and it was, yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It was quite good fun. Was something to pick up on physical media down the line? I'm not sure, but it might have been maybe a one-time watch, but I did enjoy it for what it was, and you give that 6 out of 10. The next movie I watched is one of my favourite horror movies of all time. I picked up the 4K this month, and that was The Lost Boys. Yeah, I couldn't wait till October. I had to watch The Lost Boys again. I'll probably watch it again this month as well, to be fair. Lost Boys, classic, absolutely love it, 9 out of 10. And when I picked up The Lost Boys, I actually got the 4K of Crawl. And I'd seen that a couple of years back when it was released. I think I can't remember if I saw it at the cinema or not, but yeah, I rewatched Crawl in the 4K, and yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. It's a good sort of creature feature with giant crocodiles. And yeah, if you've not seen Crawl, definitely recommend that. I give that a 7.5 out of 10. Next up, I saw another Kevin Smith movie. Having watched Clerks 3, I picked up a couple of Kevin Smith movies that I'd left at my mum's, and I have on DVD, and one of them was Jane Silent Bob Strike Back. And yeah, I gave that a rewatch, and yeah, it is pretty funny. Is it my favourite? Again, probably not. That's probably more rats, but this is a really funny film. And they basically ventured to Hollywood to stop their Blunt Man and Chronic movie being made, or try to, and it's got lots of great cameos in there. And yeah, it's a really amusing film. I give that one 7 out of 10. The next film I saw was a first time watch, starring Christian Slater and a host of other people. I think there was Brad Pitt in there, Christopher Walken, is it Patricia cat, I think, with the girl in it. And it's a film called True Romance. Yeah, I recently picked up a DVD of this in a charity shop. I've probably had it in the past, I'll be honest, and one of them films I've never watched. I probably thought it was like a 3-hour film, and I've been put off it. Yeah, for some reason I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to watch this, and it was about 2 hours, and yeah, what a film that is. True Romance. Really, really enjoyed that one. It's something I'm going to upgrade on Blu-ray going forward. But yeah, it was just a really, really good film. I do enjoy Christian Slater from that era. I don't know what he's done really since, but you know, when he did Heathers, which I love, he does a film called Pump Up the Volume, which is great, and also like a bit later on he did Hard Rain, which was quite a good action movie. But yeah, this was sort of in the middle of that lot, and he's widely known. He's like, is it written by Tarantino, I believe, directed by Tony Scott, and yeah, great movie. Yeah, give that 9 out of 10. And yeah, to round off October, the last film I watched this month is another rewatch. I didn't get me Blu-ray out. I found this on Disney Plus. Someone told me it's on Disney Plus, and I thought before I get into all the horror films for October, I'm just going to watch this again, and it was The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman. Absolutely adore The Greatest Showman. It's probably my favourite musical of recent times. Yeah, I was a huge fan of it. It's the music's fantastic, and you just find yourself singing along, and yeah, it's just a great musical. I give The Greatest Showman 8.5 out of 10. It's just definitely one of my favourite musicals of all time. And yeah, that is it for October. Oh, sorry, not October, September. Yeah, coming up next month, it's going to be mostly horror movies. You might have the odd one thrown in there. There's not, but I'm mostly going to sort of do like last year and watch as many horror movies as I can. I'm not going to definitely watch 31 for the 31 days of October, but what I do watch, I'm going to try and make sure it's sort of stuff I've not seen. Thrown in with I know for a fact I'm going to watch a few Chucky films and maybe a couple of Nightmare on Elm Streets. Because I've not actually seen all of those. I do own a box set. And I'm going to watch the Dog Soldiers 4K that I got as well. Because I love that movie and it'd be great to see that on 4K. I've been saving that one for, Halloween month. And yeah, that is it. So yeah, comment down below if you've seen any movies I watched in September. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and ring the bell for more videos like this. And I'll see you next time. Bye guys.